Hi guys. In this video, we're gonna be adding our planet class like before, like we mentioned. It's gonna be a very basic class for now. We're gonna leave it empty in this video, and in the next video, we're gonna be filling it up. But first, we need to add. We're gonna learn what an array is because we need an array of planets because it's part of a planetary system. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna just add a property, just like our name. We're going to add another property called planets, because this is going to be our array planets. So we call it planets, and we tell it that it's of type. Remember, we use this annotation. Remember, it's of a string over here. But now we're going to call it of type planet. And then you see these square brackets around it, which means that it's not actually of type planet. It's not just one planet. It's an array of planets. And we're going to talk about that just in a second. But for now, we see this error that planet doesn't exist yet. That's right, because we haven't made the planet class. So remember, we're going to make another Swift file. And we're going to call this one planet. And then in here, we're going to say class planet, and we're just going to leave it empty for now. So we come back here, and now our planet is real. It exists. It turns green, which is something that means that it's a data type that it recognizes. And now we get an error here saying that we haven't initialized planets in the initializer. So we can probably say that when whoever makes a planetary system, in this case our Space Adventure class makes the planetary system, we want to pass in a planet array into our initializer. So we can add it to our initializer by saying planets. Remember, we're going to call our variable the same that we see above. Planets planet. Remember, because this is an array of planets. And then we're going to say self.planets equal planets, just like we did with name. But so now so if we build this, we'll notice that we actually broke our other class, which was using the old initializer for planetary system. This class isn't using planets anymore, and to fix this, we can add this. Remember, we have to use that part of the initializer because there's no longer another initializer that has just name in it. Now it needs name and planets. And to initialize an empty array, we remember, like before, we specify that it's this type, and then we just use two parentheses. And this creates an empty array, just because this is actually, if we didn't have any parameters in our initializer, we would have just said planetary system parenthesis parenthesis. And just like that, we don't have to put in any parameters when we initialize an empty array. So we just have an empty planets array here. And what we probably want to add here is that we had a number of planets before. We probably don't want to do that anymore. We want to get rid of this altogether. And we want to say planetary system dot planets, and then this is getting our array. We don't want to print out our array. We want to say the count of that array. How many planets are in that array? How many planets are in that planetary system? So to do that, you use the count variable. The count variable is a property on planets. And a planet is an array, which means that somewhere along the line, Apple made this array class in Swift, and it has a variable just like this, except it's not a constant. It's not let. It would say var, and it has count, and it has the number of objects in that array. So if we run this, okay, so we see that it says there are 0 planets to explore right here. And that's because we made it an empty array. So in the next video, we're going to be making a planet a bit more meaningful. Right now, remember, it's a empty class, and like I can see it here. And by the way, what I just did was I command clicked command, held command, and then I clicked on this to see the declaration of that. So if let's say we wanted to see the declaration of greet user when we were here, it would take us here. And the declaration of display introduction, it takes us here. And that's a little useful trick for later. And so with that, we're gonna end this video here, and we're gonna continue in the next video.